$6 billion has been wiped off the share price of Anheuser-Busch over the whole situation with Dylan Mulvaney advertising the product. Now, look, Bud Light, I mean, if you drink a light beer, you're a communist anyway. But okay, fair enough, fair enough. I mean, but lots of people in America, and I believe it's because they drive, think that light beer is a legitimate drink for a man. But okay, those people now are extremely upset. Dylan Mulvaney, you'll remember, by the way, that is the sports bra lady who advertised for Nike.
Yeah.
Should we see the Bud Light advert?
Yeah,
come on, let's do it.
This month, I celebrated my day 365 of womanhood, and Bud Light sent me possibly the best gift ever, a can with my face on it. Check out my Instagram story to see how you can enjoy March Madness with Bud Light and maybe win some money, too. Love ya! Cheers! Go team! Whatever team you love.
She's a very lovely lady, but who's got that so wrong?
She looks like something off that TV show Miss Selfridge. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
From the 1930s?
Yeah.
Like, look, I mean, the reality is, I don't understand why associating this person with this product is right. So, I mean, look, you wouldn't associate me with the sports bra. I don't understand why you would have a trans person with Bud Light. Because, I mean, look, I as I say, we're pretty disparaging about light beer. But in America, like, you know, real rugged men drink it. And this person, whatever you think about her, is like the opposite of what that is, right?
Like it. Yeah. Well, they've made a mistake there, and that's okay, but the sports bra thing annoys me more.
Well, one thing that I will say that I do think is absolutely despicable is that the Vice President of Anheuser-Busch in charge of Bud Light now has to have bodyguards. I think you take it too far. If you don't want to buy the product, if you don't want to pay, by the way, I've got to tell you this. I got a rucksack from the Premier League, right, and I've reserved it for my dad, and I gave it to him. It was made by Nike. He didn't like that very much. Anyway, look, let's bring in the guests.
Yes.
We've got Karl Lankester, who's a trans activist, and Katy Montgomerie, who's also a trans activist. Well, welcome.
Hi.
Look,
hello. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, I don't know whether to start with the whole issue of trans or start with Bud Light. But why don't we start with Bud Light? You know, does it make any sense, really, to have someone who's famous for being trans associated with this product? Because it just isn't the customers. Doesn't this show potentially that there are companies that are jumping on the trans bandwagon just really because they think it'll help their sales? And I'll give that to you, Karl.
Yeah, so I think it's a case of big companies and corporate places trying to be more inclusive and diverse. That's the bandwagon I think that they're trying to jump on, and in any way trying to publicize that. I know that there was a new marketing team that took over director of Bud Light, and she openly said that she's trying to be more woke, trying to be more inclusive and diverse. So I think that was their try at doing that.
I mean, I suppose there is a question to you, Katy, about the defence that Anheuser-Busch might have. I don't know if they have this defence. It might be, well, look, brands need to move with the times. Yes, we've lost a significant amount from our share price, but at the same time, we do need to bring younger customers to the brand. And at the end of the day, when Dylan Mulvaney worked with Nike, it didn't affect Nike's sales, although, to be fair, Nike is aimed principally at younger people anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see why everyone's so offended by it. I mean, it just seems like an example of the trans panic that we're living through, where every time any brand does anything with a trans person, then all the sort of reactionaries flip out. And the issue here is just that there's a trans person being promoted in any way at all.
I think they play off that, don't they? Because they know what they're going to get.
Yeah, but hang on a second. If you were a manufacturer of trucks and you got Sadiq Khan to advertise it, then I mean, because he's very anti-car, people would think that was crazy. I mean, I just don't feel that this Dylan Mulvaney represents the brand at all, Karl. Sorry, Katy.
Yeah,
sorry, Katy.
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes brands do bad adverts, and I would just watch, a truck advert with Sadiq Khan and be like, oh, okay, I'm not buying their trucks. I don't know. But I wouldn't be sending death threats to the factory or trying to wipe money off the valuation or sending Dylan Mulvaney death threats. I don't see why anyone cares.
Well,
they got it wrong, didn't they? They got it wrong, and it's a product, and they got it wrong, and the
well, trans people do drink beer.
Yeah, obviously, but I mean, as an advert, I think they wanted to make a statement, and the truth was, it didn't really work so great for them, did it?
Katy, is there an argument that says that we're all just getting a bit too het up about this. Because look, I might be sheltered. I might be wrapped in cotton wool. I don't think I'm. You know, I don't go around every day and get faced with trans issues. You know, I don't bump into lots of trans people. I had one friend who transitioned, but I mean, I just wonder whether we just think of this as the big issue of our age, and it really isn't.
Yes, I mean, it's totally over the top. Like, the reaction is just ridiculous. Some people, this is like their whole lives. I mean, some of the people leading the charge for the boycott in the USA, like conservative commentator Matt Walsh and stuff, have dedicated, like, this is all they do now. They just talk about trans people, get angry, campaign to take away our rights, you know, make big fusses every time we're in an advert. And it's like, get a real problem.
Because I don't agree with anything that makes people, where we separate people. We're all just people. We all want the best. Like, I don't like anything that singles people out and separates people. But you've also got,
when you're talking about the sports bra issue, do you know, our producer said this a second ago.
More than anything.
Our producer mentioned this a second ago. Look, who drinks beer and when is a very different proposition to knowing that women are being pushed out of sports. You know, Leah Thomas was a pretty middling male swimmer and is now taking all of the records off
well, that's
women.
Not true. She only won one record, and that's been beaten this year. So.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Okay. But look, there are concerns about the fact that women are being kicked out of sports by trans athletes. I think that is different. The sports bra, I thought the sports bra was gratuitous. And Karl, is that, are we... Look, do you know something? If I was trying to troll people, what I would do is I would put a trans person in a sports bra and get them drinking Bud Light. And I just wonder whether we're just not being gratuitous here.
Sorry, you said if you wanted to troll someone, that's what you would do.
If I wanted to deliberately offend people, then what I would do is I would put a trans person in a sports bra to basically say, I don't care about women's sports, I'm going to put a man in a bra, and then I'd give them a can of Bud Light in order to insult middle American men. So the point I'm making is, if I was attempting to insult you, this is what I'd come up with as an insult, and yet brands think it's a good idea.
You could do better.
I agree. I think it's a case that, well, trans women are women. I think we need to see that full stop, and I don't see why we shouldn't have the opportunity to advertise in a sports bra for a big company such as Nike.
Well, more because of the actual function of a sports bra. That feels more like, if you understand sport, I'm a very sporty person, and I do.
And it's
wear
fair to say you need a sports bra.
I very much do, and I wear two bras because it's really difficult, because it actually physically hurts. It hurts to jump around and not be completely supported.
That just felt
a little bit more like they were taking the mickey out of the fact that you don't really need boobs to wear a sports bra. Well, hang on a minute. That is their very function.
It's worth like also saying, before you answer that, I'm not cutting you off. Sorry. Before you answer that, I think it's also worth saying that you are a big fan of inclusivity.
Absolutely.
You know, so whereas I'm considered the sort of sinister old right wing,
the beer thing, I think is ridiculous. I'm not interested at all. I think it's just ridiculous.
I think, Katy, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I mean, maybe this is just a misunderstanding, but like trans women like me have breasts too. And when we go and I'm not necessarily competing with top level athletes, but if I want to go for a run around the park near my house or whatever, I would wear a sports bra.
Yeah, but Dylan doesn't have any breasts.
I mean, he does look. Well, she does look a bit like a skinny fella, right? I'm not going to lie.
Oh, was that to me?
I think we're trying to avoid transphobic comments, but I think at the end of the day, we have to take into account that Dylan has only been on her journey for a year. We've watched that journey unfold because she's now over day 365, which all this celebration was about. And, you know, we can't expect trans women, some will grow boobs very quickly, as myself. I do have boobs and need a sports bra when I go out sports.
Karl, just a matter of interest. Karl, just a matter of interest. Look, you said that what I've just said is a transphobic comment. So you can educate me because you know you're the expert in this. I don't see what is transphobic about saying that physically this person looks like a skinny man to me, in the context of talking about whether the person needs a sports bra. What is offensive about that? And I'm not trying to pull you up, by the way. I'm genuinely interested.
But I think that we're all aware that Dylan is a trans woman, therefore we're aware where she's come from and where she's going.
Right.
So by making a comment such as that she looks like a man, you're insinuating that she is a man, and maybe that's your opinion.
The man wasn't the operative bit, it was skinny that was the operative bit, because look, I mean, I've got something a little bit up top, but it just strikes me that is about your body type, isn't it? Really, rather than about what you identify as when you're talking in the context of a sports bra.
Yeah, it's just whether you have breasts or not, isn't it? So I don't really think it's like some trans women don't pass as well as others.
Yeah.
And if someone had grown breasts, but they still, didn't pass very well, saying, "Oh, you look like a man," doesn't really. I mean, that's not really a relevant comment to whether she needs a sports bra or not.
Well, fair enough. And look, what I think is really important is, look, I think we do need to respect people and their choices in life. I think that if that was a transphobic comment, then all I can say is that that's not the intention. But I think it is an incredibly difficult area, and I have to say, I will say in defence of people, I do think people should be able to participate in sports. I do think that there's no harm whatsoever in a trans person drinking a beer, and God bless them for doing it. But it is difficult to work out exactly where the line is drawn.